views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts and guests. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Carolyn from Moms for Justice. How are you guys doing today? Tonight, it is Thursday. Lots of crazy news, right? What's her face? That girl, that got shot by a 6-year-old. She was awarded like $10 million today. And then Diane Downs had a parole hearing also. That was pretty crazy. I don't think they're going to grant her parole. Do you? I don't think so. But anyway, hello. Hi. How's everybody? I'm letting everybody hop on here before I start. Hey, Rosie, Dawn, Rich, Alex, Kathleen, Matt, Watercolor Mama. How are you, girl? So glad to be on with you guys tonight. Hi. Crazy, right? Crazy day. And this, the government shutdown, guys. Woo! Yeah, she was awarded $10 million, that school teacher, and she deserves it, I think. You know, somebody went wrong there. It's a combination of the parents, which, you know, blows my mind that the parents aren't really being pinpointed here. But the teacher, principal, you know, she should have handled that for sure, you know. Yeah. So, yes, if you're just joining us, this is Moms for Justice, and I'm Carolyn. I cover a lot of the Dan Markel murder case, a lot of detailed stuff. I cover a lot of everything. I just put up an edited testimony of Alex Murdaugh today. I edited it down, put captions on it and everything, and it's just so much more compelling. If you're looking for that late night thing to like put your AirPods in and just go to sleep and listen, these videos I'm putting up, trials in under 60 minutes. Some of the testimonies, I put Brian Winchester up the other day. So go ahead and enjoy those because they are so fun to listen to, especially when all the fluff has been taken out and the sidebars are taken out. It's awesome. So go check it out. Hey, Chip's dad, Sherry, Karen, CM, how are you guys? It's so nice to see you guys. I got my tea. I got matcha green with turmeric tonight. Yeah. A little tip, and I'll be sharing tips like this on my other channel that I'm doing with Jocelyn. But if you do, you want to drop a little weight without having to try too hard, you guys want to know? So you get green tea, and you put in a teaspoon of psyllium husk and a half a teaspoon of turmeric, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Mix that all together with a little bit of the purest you can find, Manuka honey. Drink that every night around 7, 8 o'clock, and you will not be hungry. You will not get the munchies. I promise. It's really awesome. And it helps you drop a little bit of weight if you need it. But I'll save this kind of stuff for the other channel. In case you guys have not done so yet, Jocelyn and I started another channel on the side, and we're going to be doing so much fun stuff with that. We're going to do like our favorite Holy Grail products. We're going to be talking about menopause. We're going to be talking about, and if there's any guys on here, I'm sorry, but we will be talking about men too. So this is what the channel looks like, sort of. You can get an idea by the logo on the bottom left-hand corner. That's our logo. There's Jocelyn and I. It's called Chitter Chatter. Open up another window right now. Go over there or subscribe. We have not launched yet, but I'm trying to get all the people that have asked us to do this. There's so many people that have been asking Jocelyn and I to do this channel, and it's finally going to be here in the next week or so. So I want you guys to be subscribed, turn on those notifications, and then you guys will be ready for that. It'll be so much fun. I'm excited. All right, so guys, I have a good episode for you today. We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about Luis Rivera's girlfriend, Jessica Rodriguez. At the time of the murder, he called her his wife, okay? And she's also the father of his daughter. The mother of his daughter. Sorry, I'm a little wacko. But anyway, let's get right to it, okay? And then we're going to listen to Jessica Rodriguez's testimony. A lot of people did not know she testified. She was faceless, but I've got it all, and we're going to play it. But anyway, I want to go through some juicy stuff for you guys that maybe some of you guys don't know about, okay? So Luis Rivera was one of the key figures in the Dan Markel murder case, as many of us know, the getaway driver and longtime friend of a hitman, Sigfredo Garcia, former Miami gang member as well. Rivera took a plea deal for second-degree murder in exchange for testifying against Garcia and Catherine Magbanua, okay? And he explained that the murder was carried out so that Garcia could make his ex Magbanua happy, because that seemed to be like the main reason for Sigfredo to do this, because he probably could have been convinced by Luis Rivera not to do this, but there was this extra push to make Catherine Magbanua happy because he was losing her, because he was a total cheater, guys. He was doing drugs. He was a drunk, Sigfredo. And Catherine Magbanua had had enough. So she basically had him in like the palm of her hand and asked him to do this. So his primary motive really was to make, yes, Chitter Chatter's on YouTube. If you need to see one more time, the logo's on the bottom left of this picture right here. That's what it looks like. It's orange and black. It says Chitter Chatter, Carolyn and Jocelyn. So, okay. So back to what I was saying. So his primary motive, yeah, he wanted money too, because both of them were all about, making money. But they weren't murderers. They were, they did robberies, and was stealing drugs and that kind of crime. So murder was not really the usual thing here. So add to that, he could get Catherine Magbanua happy and win her back from being with the dentist, Charlie Adelson. That was his primary motive. Okay. So, and then another reason, as we all know, was so that Wendi Adelson, the lady with the kids, could move back to Miami and relocate. Okay. So his testimony became like literally one of the most important pieces of evidence in exposing the entire plot. Without him, I don't know if we'd be where we are, guys. So there is a little bit of, kudos to Luis Rivera. But this particular episode, though, will focus more on his life, but the relationship and the testimony of his common law wife, Jessica Rodriguez, who he was with at the time of this murder. So his life, this is heartbreaking, guys. So I really looked into Luis Rivera and I found out a lot of information about him. He grew up in poverty, but he did have a strong sense of loyalty due to his large family. It was like, how do I say this? So all this really started long before this crime. Like, he didn't really stand a chance, this guy. He really did not. And he was born and raised in a very rough part of North Miami. He grew up surrounded by gangs and violence, and he could not read or write. And I did understand, though, later that he was able to read some Spanish, but overall, the English language, he was not able to read or write. And by sixth grade, he was sent to the Jan Man Opportunity School, which is a place for students with behavioral problems. So, you're getting the picture, right? I mean, he didn't have a very good start. So with no real guidance and very few options, he unfortunately joined the Latin Kings and following the only path that he knew. And I tried to look in, I was a little afraid to dive too deep into this, guys, because, but, I guess it's possible that there was somebody above him or authority member that also introduced him to the Latin Kings. But who knows, I didn't want to dig that far into that, But by age 13, guys, 13 years old, he began having children with a woman named Annie Diaz, and she was an older woman, okay? And she became his common law wife also. At that time, he was just a child trying to be an adult way too soon, right? You know what it reminded me of? R. Kelly. Because R. Kelly, he had a rough start where older women were preying on him. And I wonder, and I don't know this for a fact, but my mind got like it always does. You guys know me. You guys know the way I think. And I immediately thought, the worst. I thought, he was being preyed upon by older women. And, I don't think it's that uncommon, especially when, I don't know, you're growing up in poverty and you got gangs and violence and drugs around you, So it really bothered me that, he was just a baby, 13 years old, getting somebody pregnant. And she's this older woman who's supposed to know better. I mean, she could be watching this right now and be like, how dare you? I don't know. But if she's even only 10 years older, and what I'm looking at is she's only about 10 years older. But at 13, 10 years older is a huge difference, right? Don't you think so? I do. I would be livid. I would be livid. So Luis came, though, I will say this, and this is the good thing I found out, a very big, loving, tight-knit family. Now, that might sound, unbelievable to you guys, but it's true. I mean, I'm not showing pictures, and I'm not going to show, people's personal social media pages, but I looked around a bit and I poked around, and they do seem like a very, thick as thieves, close, loving family. They just do. But tragedy does hit him at a young age. His sister, who he's super close with, her name is Maria. She lost her husband, who was shot to death for not paying the rent. So his sister Maria was, with this man, and they were living in this, I don't know if it was a house or an apartment, but they were renting it. Actually, it was a house. They were renting it. And somebody told him, don't pay the rent because the house is going into foreclosure. Okay. So he does not pay the rent, but then the landlord shows up demanding the rent. Now, meanwhile, he's got his wife, Maria, in the house. They've got 3 children and 1 on the way. She was literally pregnant. And right there in the front of the house, the landlord pulls out a gun and shoots him in the head right in front of his children. So that is really tragic. And I guess he became even closer to her after that, I'm assuming. But apparently this one sister, Maria, was Luis's closest confidant. And she knew everything. And in fact, Jessica will talk about Maria a little bit. But I just wanted to give you some backstory that she had some tragedy in her life. So when he got older, I won't go there yet. So those who knew Luis said that he had a very big heart and he was very devoted to his family. And even if his life was constantly on the edge, they still maintained that. Despite gang ties, he was not known as a murderer, but instead for robbery. And there's going to be people that are going to talk about the fact that, is anything going on with the chat? Hi, how are you? Hi, Mandy. Oh, congratulations. You're pregnant? That's amazing. Congratulations. So when he got older, he earns his masonry certificate and held a steady job for 15 years. That's not common, when you're part of a gang, So, I'm only going to report to you what I found out. I'm sure there's things I don't know, but I'm just going to give you what I know. Coworkers have described him as dependable and very hardworking, and a man who showed up every day and took pride in his trade. Around that time, he began a relationship with Jessica Rodriguez. So obviously, things didn't work out with Annie. He still has those kids. He has a loving, devoted daughter that is on social media, and she misses her dad greatly. So I want to say something about that at the end, because obviously, Luis Rivera did a really terrible thing and belongs in jail. But I want to go into the other side of that he's got children that miss him terribly. So I'll go into that at the end. But So he begins this relationship with Jessica, right? And she becomes a very, a long-term partner with him. And he refers to her as his wife. And they lived together at the Forest Place Apartments in North Miami at that time. Jessica later testifies in court that Luis had a problem with being faithful to her. He was constantly cheating on her. And I guess that doesn't really surprise me too much. But she did say that he had a loyalty, though, in a different way. And that loyalty ends up becoming his downfall because Luis had grown up close to Sigfredo Garcia, who he saw as not just a best friend, but like a brother to him. When Sigfredo brought him into a job in Tallahassee, as we all know, Luis originally thought that it was a robbery and not a murder that was about to happen. And he agreed to go, thinking it was just another hustle, right? Only later to realize that the real plan was to kill a man and father a law professor with 2 kids, so Sigfredo could make his ex, Catherine, happy. And we know the stories. Luis tried to stop him and said several things at different times. He, in his deposition or interview, let's say his interview, he goes into the fact that he wasn't keen on killing a man with 2 kids and that he tried everything he could. Obviously didn't try hard enough, right? But that he made several attempts to try to stop Sigfredo from doing this and say, hey, why don't we just go back and rob the dentist, or why don't we rob the lady? There were so many other things he could have done. And it just, it just takes like a split second to make the wrong choice, So he definitely hesitated and refused at one point on one of the visits. They wanted to shoot Markel right in front of his children, apparently. And that was one of the things that Luis was like, no. And they put a halt to the trip because, he had the kids with him. And Luis thought that meant that they were going to shoot Dan Markel in front of children. And he was like, no way am I about that. And that really goes back to the fact that he comes from this tight-knit family. There are tons of kids in the Rivera family and the extended family. Little kids everywhere in their pictures. I mean, just you could see it. So I'm not, trying to make him out to be a saint, but everybody starts somewhere, and there are people that could have started off with a good heart and they just go down the wrong road, right? So anyway, before I continue, did you guys like this video and subscribe to Moms for Justice? If you have not subscribed, make sure you guys are subscribing and you like the video. Also, you can join below and become a Moms for Justice member. The emojis I got coming up for you guys are going to be really good. You guys could have like little emojis, and I'm going to do Dan Markel, Wendi Adelson style emojis I'll be having up for you guys soon. And there's also some content for members only. Just wanted to make sure you guys are liking it and subscribing. Just plug in the channel. And don't forget to go over and subscribe to Chitter Chatter as well. Okay, so Sigfredo insisted and said, quote, Katie wants me to do this and it'll get me money and then she'll come back to me. So Luis followed anyway, though, not for the money, but out of misguided loyalty, okay, and friendship to Sigfredo. At one point, he said something like, I can't let my buddy go down there and mess up and get himself in trouble either. So yes, the priority was more about Sigfredo, his best friend, not getting in any trouble, as opposed to, an innocent professor with 2 kids that doesn't deserve to die. Sure, I get that. But he really did want to put a stop to it. And if his motive meant more for the sake of stopping his best friend from making probably the biggest mistake of his life, then so be it, right? So he was allegedly, after the shooting, was allegedly getting a haircut when the $35,000 payment was dropped off at the home he shared with Jessica. Now, in every trial since, his testimony has remained consistent, and that's a big deal for me. He did not plan the murder. There's no evidence of him having anything to do with any planning or instigating or anything. He did not pull the trigger, as we all know, because he refused to do it, which is admirable in itself. and wanted to commit a robbery instead. Okay, I'm going to get heat on this because I had a couple people when I talked about Luis before say, how dare you? He's a murderer. Okay, let me reiterate. He belongs where he belongs. He is a murderer because he took part in a hit. But I just want to point out that there is a difference between Sigfredo and Luis Rivera. Okay, there really is, because he did refuse to pull the trigger and he's not the one who actually did it. I'm also very thankful to Luis Rivera because he came forward and he helped in the process to get justice so far as we know it. And I think he would still continue to be a witness that we would so very much need, guys, if Wendi should get arrested, right? We need Luis Rivera because he's the one who's going to come forward and say that he saw Wendi on the street with the 2 kids and that he knows that this was all done because of the lady with the 2 kids. And then at many points even said because of Wendi. He's actually said the words Wendi. So, I hate that he was part of such an awful act, but at the same time, he is probably the most honest of all the, over the Adelsons. He's more honest than any of them. So I just want to point that out. All right. So even prosecutors and defense attorneys have agreed that no evidence has ever linked to him or the planning of this hit. Now, I also don't think he's a heartless person either. I think some of these other people, and the Adelsons especially, are like really heartless people. And Luis at least showed some empathy in some ways, and he has to learn to live with what he did, right? And do I think he got too little time? Probably, but that's what you get when you need a witness to come forward for you. So you're going to have to make deals, So he was a man raised in chaos, guys. And in his own limited way, he tried to find some normalcy, first with Annie and then with Jessica. But then makes this one horrible choice that changes his life forever. And in the end, he became the most credible witness. Jessica was called to the stand by the prosecution, okay? And she was a tad bit of a hostile witness. She don't sound it when she's on the stand, but she is because she originally, protested against testifying. She didn't want to. And only when they told her that she would be held in contempt of court did she obviously say, okay, I'll come forward and I'll testify. She is not seen on camera in the footage I'm going to show you, and that is her right. She doesn't have to. She can request not to be seen. Kind of sucks for us, but whatever. And the footage I show you is edited by me, and it's not taking anything out. You're going to see the full thing, but I got rid of any sidebars. I got rid of any dead air, and I remastered the sound a little bit. So that's cool. And it's basically condensed down a little shorter because of all those factors. But before I play her testimony, and we're going to listen to it together, I wanted to go through a couple other things because she's going to talk a lot about Sigfredo, Catherine, okay, and Shrimp. I'll tell you who Shrimp is in a second if you don't already know. But first, a little bit about Sigfredo and Katie's relationship, okay? So it's a little bit of like a gritty love story, these two, Sigfredo and Katie. Very toxic, magnetic, impulsive, and really destined for disaster, guys. Okay, the moment he first saw her, it was over, it was over for him. He walked into a party and she was wearing some like bright yellow Filipino outfit. And apparently, according to him, and in a letter that he wrote to her after he was, put away, he wrote her a letter in prison, and actually it's a heartbreaking letter. And when I do a video on just the two of them, I'm going to go through that letter. But he writes a letter to her saying that she still has a chance and he does not, and she needs to go on until the very end. You can see in this letter just how much Sigfredo loved and obsessed over Katie. I mean, it really was, he refused to go against her and she refused to go against him. And that is a love story in itself, right? Kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde, maybe. I don't know, maybe, right? But he sees her in this bright yellow outfit at this party from across the room. And he says in the letter, that was it. I knew you were the one for me. And he was drawn to her beauty. And, Katie, sometimes came off a little ditzy, not as much as June, but she definitely was not all there sometimes. But he said that she was intelligent with confidence and a spark that she carried around with her. So she in turn was very swept up with the whole bad boy routine he had going on. And I think that's why the relationship was so toxic, because you can't have your cake and eat it too. There are some ladies out there where they just get drawn to the bad boy, right? But then they get mad when there's drugs in their house, or they get mad when they're a deadbeat dad, or they get mad because they didn't come home because they're sleeping with like strippers all night, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And this sounds like something that would be on Chitter Chatter, but I'll just say to you that it was destined for disaster. And I know so many girls that I've been friends with growing up that went for this kind of guy. And each time you do it, you bury yourself further into a hole because you don't know what a normal, healthy relationship is like anymore to reference from, because you just got out of this one. And then you just tend to go for the same kind of guys, So again, totally a topic that we would probably go in with Jocelyn on Chitter Chatter. But I wanted to say that I really do think Katie, that's what you get. When you pick somebody like that, that's what you get. But another reason why I think women go for these relationships is because they're usually more exciting. They're more fun, the relationship. I don't know. But until it's not fun anymore, right? So their love quickly turns toxic, okay? And there's this dangerous energy about both of them. What started as like passion begins this cycle of jealousy also, and control and all this chaos. And then Katie stood by Sigfredo through it all, even when he was cheating with a stripper known as Shrimp. Apparently she was also a prostitute. That was another thing I found out. She was a prostitute as well. But her loyalty bordered on self-destruction totally, and she famously refused in an immunity deal. As we all know, she was offered immunity. She could have walked free and gone home to her kids, and she chose not to, all because of this guy, okay, who was cheating on her with a hooker named Shrimp. Okay? That's all I'm saying about that. Anyway, but she gave it all up for him. Anyway, though many believe she arrogantly assumed she would walk free, Sigfredo, meanwhile, wanted her to take that plea deal. He like begged her to, and she refused to do it. He also said that she was smarter than him and perhaps more capable of him to go to trial and get a not guilty verdict. Okay? So their relationship became the emotional core of this criminal conspiracy that happens, right? And poor Luis Rivera gets stuck in the middle of it. These are two people bound together by obsession and poor choices, culminating in the murder of Dan Markel. Well, what had begun as a glance across a crowded room turns into this, right? I mean, I don't know. Shrimp. All right, I got some dirt on Shrimp. This is alleged. This is what I found out. You guys can take it as you want. I've got to say that before I say this, just so that everybody knows that this is definitely what I found, but it is for entertainment purposes, and it is just based on what I found. Some of it could be rumor, but I did my best for you. So here's what I know. So Shrimp is the stripper that Sigfredo was seeing while entangled with Catherine Magbanua. That relationship was also considered chaotic and toxic, with a lot of drama, okay? Katie, despite her own entanglement in this murder plot, apparently drew the line at letting her children near Shrimp, because as Shrimp was quoted to say, and I'll spell out one of the words, Shrimp quoted and said, "That murderous TWAT has standards." I mean, that's a new one for me. For a woman to say that about herself, I mean, like was willing to admit that that's what Katie said about shrimp. You get it? That Katie said that murderous TWAT. I don't like cursing, guys. I'm sorry. I can't say the word. Go ahead and say it over there in your wherever you guys are parked on a couch or on your bed. You go ahead and say it out loud. But yeah. So she said that. And their rivalry erupted into like fist fights. There were physical fights with these two women. Once Katie stormed into Shrimp's apartment, knowing that Sigfredo was there, and followed her into the bathroom and began hitting her. And then they had this crazy, wild confrontation at a nail salon that ended in a tug of war over Shrimp's phone. So Katie was trying to take Shrimp's phone away at this nail salon. There's this big cat fight. They're pulling it. I mean, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that. Right? Ladies, that's Jerry Springer right there. So they were fighting. They hated each other. And probably was at risk of killing each other for real. No joke. So after that, the nail salon and all that, Shrimp recalled that she and Sigfredo weren't officially ever a couple. And they mostly drank and hooked up. So they were just having sex. But she was clear that she, Shrimp, did not use cocaine with Sigfredo. They were reckless. And there's a funny thing at the end of this, guys. They were very reckless together. Okay. Riding his motorcycle all around Miami without helmets on. Okay. Until an accident apparently, allegedly leaves them both injured because they were not wearing helmets. Stupid. And Shrimp's mother, because of this accident, Shrimp's mother had to nurse them back to health while Sigfredo contributed nothing financially because he was a deadbeat with no money. Sounds like a winner, guys. Sounds like a winner. Eventually, he vanished from her life without a word. He just up and left, sending a friend to collect his belongings one day. And here's something funny. Later demanding his TV back. I'm sorry. The irony. He wanted his TV back. TV. I'm speechless, guys. Oh, boy. And that's not even the funny thing at the end. That to me was so funny, though, because of the code, the TV code, right? Meanwhile, he shows up at the apartment of his ex-girl that he was hooking up with, prostitute / stripper, and said, "Give me my TV." Oh, man. Sorry for the swallowing in the mic. All right. So the next time Shrimp heard his name was when he was arrested for murder. And by the way, he got his TV back. He should have loaned it to Wendi. He should have loaned the TV to Wendi. Shrimp said that after the arrest, it was her impression that Katie was not dating the dentist at all and was just sleeping around with him. Looking back, Shrimp also said that Sigfredo did not seem capable of such a brutal crime. And she wanted nothing more to do with the mess surrounding the Adelson case. And here's the funny part, guys. She is now reportedly married to a doctor. She seems to have left that world behind for good. Hey, look. If you cleaned up your act, I'm all for it. You know, anybody can change. So I apologize if you are in a great place in your life and you're no longer involved in that stuff. If you're listening, you know, I don't even know your real name. I only know your name is Shrimp. And if it's true that you got kids somewhere and you're married to a doctor and you're living great and, you know, you aren't doing those awful things to yourself anymore, then I'm all for that. And, you know, prayers to you. So that is everything I know about Shrimp. Make sure you guys are giving me a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe, like, and share also. And I'm going to play some of I'm not going to play some of it. I'm going to play all of it. I'm going to play all of Jessica's testimony, and it has been recut by me, but nothing was taken out of it. So I don't want you guys to be worried that anything got taken out, because it has not. So don't forget to also join Moms for Justice members only group, and also the Chitter Chatter. Don't forget to go check out Chitter Chatter and subscribe to it. We don't have any videos up yet, but we will pretty soon. And Jocelyn and I, we're so excited about that. All right, here we go, guys. Let's start.
Good morning. If you come to the witness stand, please. Before you have a seat, we're going to swear you in. Okay, please raise your right hand, respond to the clerk.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Please have a seat. Ms. Kathleen, could you retrieve these other items? Or are you going to
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I just need you to speak loud and clear into that microphone, okay?
Ma'am, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Good morning. Jessica Rodriguez, Jessica Rodriguez.
Where do you live, Ms. Rodriguez?
Currently Newport Richie.
All right. And are you employed?
Yes.
How are you employed?
I'm a nail technician.
How long have you been working as a nail tech?
Since I was 15.
All right. And have you ever been convicted of a felony?
Yes, I have.
How many?
3 to my knowledge.
All right. Do you know the defendant in this case, Catherine Magbanua?
Yes, I do.
How do you know her?
She was Tuto's wife,
Right.
a friend.
Who's Tuto?
Garcia.
Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes.
All right. And you knew her as his wife?
Correct.
Do you know whether they were legally married?
Not to my knowledge.
Meaning they were not, or you just don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, but they were always together as
Correct.
husband and wife, or lived together as husband and wife?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and that was during the time that you were friends with them?
Correct.
When did you become friends with them?
This is my makeup look for mature skin. I'm using this face pencil to cover up any dark spots or aging that come with mature skin. It just gives me coverage without feeling.
Let me fix it for you. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Oh, that's so annoying, right? Let me switch it. Okay. One sec. How annoying. All right. Where was I? I might have to fast forward it again, but I was not on my no ads account. So here we go.
Good morning.
And I will fast forward a little bit.
Stand, please. I just need you.
How long have you been working as a nail tech?
Since I was 15.
All right, and have you ever been convicted of a felony?
Yes, I have.
How many?
3 to my knowledge.
All right. Do you know the defendant in this case, Catherine Magbanua?
Yes, I do.
How do you know her?
She was Tuto's wife,
Right.
a friend.
Who's Tuto?
Garcia.
Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes.
All right, and you knew her as his wife?
Correct.
Do you know whether they were legally married?
Not to my knowledge.
Meaning they were not, or you just don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, but they were always together as
Correct.
husband and wife, or lived together as husband and wife?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and that was during the time that you were friends with them?
Correct.
When did you become friends with them?
Basically the whole relationship that I have with Rivera. Later on, once I got pregnant, I started being around more.
All right, how do you know Rivera?
He's the father of my daughter.
All right, that's Luis Rivera?
Correct.
Okay, and so you said around the time that you became pregnant, what year was that?
2013.
All right, that's when you became good friends with?
More with her being around, yes.
All right, and what about Sigfredo Garcia? Was it the same with him?
No, I've known him since as long as I've known Rivera.
How long is that?
About 12 years.
All right, so you've been friends with Garcia much longer than Catherine Magbanua?
Correct.
Okay. Did you know her longer than that before you?
No.
Okay, so you just became friends with her in 2013?
Correct.
Okay. Were you close friends around the time that you were pregnant in 2013?
To my knowledge, I thought I was, yes.
All right, and did you remain friendly with her up until, I guess, kind of 2015, 2016?
Correct,
You fell
yes.
out a little bit?
Yes.
All right, and what was the falling out about?
Well, I seen in the news what happened with Garcia with his arrest. And wherever Rivera was, Garcia was always. So with everything going on, I called to find out, like, for her to let me know if she knew anything. I thought it had something to do with the federal case from Rivera prior, and never answered. Said she'd call me back, never called me back. Then I get a response, a call back from...
All right, don't tell us what the response is, but basically associated with you being in the dark on this case.
Correct.
Is how y'all fell out.
Correct.
Okay. And I want to ask you a little bit more about Mr. Rivera. Does he have a nickname?
Yes.
What does he go by?
Tato.
All right. And I want to ask you specifically about an incident that occurred, and I know you don't know the exact date, but was there a time when you were living with Mr. Rivera in Miami at 16th Ave and 135th Street?
Yes.
All right. And was there a time, well, let me ask you a little bit about that place. Is that like a, can you describe what kind of place that was? What kind of residence?
It's an apartment building. Like
All right.
your normal
Would you
one.
describe it as a lavish apartment building?
No.
When you were living with Mr. Rivera as a family, did you have a lot of money?
No.
Were you working as a nail tech at that
Yes,
time?
I always worked.
All right. And was he employed with Coastal Masonry during the time you were
Yes,
together?
correct.
Yes. Let me get my question out first. And then
Sorry.
It's okay. All right. So you were both working. Was money a problem or not a problem?
Yes, it was a problem.
Okay. Because we've heard some information about Mr. Rivera dealing drugs, and I wondered if it was a situation where you were, living in this palace as drug lords with servants and all that kind of thing. Was it like that?
No.
Did Mr. Rivera keep his money in the bank?
No.
Okay. What about his, did he have a bank account at all?
Yes, he did.
All right. What was the purpose of the bank account?
For his direct deposits from his job.
Okay. So he did keep at least the paycheck in the bank for
Correct.
some period of time.
Yes.
Did Mr. Rivera have any connection to Tallahassee that you know of before this
No.
case? How would you describe the relationship between Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia?
Brothers. Inseparable.
All right. What about the relationship between Sigfredo Garcia and Catherine Magbanua?
Toxic. They would on and off a lot.
All right. And do you know who Charlie Adelson is?
Now, yes.
Okay. What about back at the time of this case, the events we're here about? Did you know his name at that time?
No, I didn't know him by his name.
Did you know that Catherine Magbanua was seeing a dentist?
Yes.
Were you familiar with Sigfredo Garcia's feelings about her seeing the dentist?
Yes.
How did he feel about it?
He didn't like it, but they were separated and he was in a different relationship.
Who was he in a relationship with?
With Shrimp.
All right. And do you know her real name?
No, I don't.
Okay. If you know, how did Catherine Magbanua feel about Garcia's relationship with Shrimp?
Oh, she hated it.
Okay, so they had moved on, but they were both mad about who the other one was dating.
Correct.
All right. Were you ever told by Luis Rivera or anyone else back around the time of these events that Luis Rivera was hired to be involved in a murder?
No.
So he did not confide that information in you?
No.
Are you surprised that he didn't tell you that he was hired to do a murder? You are?
I am surprised.
All right. And afterwards, did he ever tell you any details about the murder?
No.
When was your youngest child born?
June of 2014.
All right. And do you remember a short time after her birth when Rivera told you he was going out of town?
Yes.
Did he tell you he was coming to Tallahassee?
No.
Where did he say he was going?
That he was just going out of town to get drugs and that's it.
Did he tell you he was going up north?
No.
All right. Did he tell you he was going to do a murder?
No.
Did he tell you who he was going with?
With Tuto.
Right. And that's Sigfredo Garcia?
Correct.
Do you know what car they took on that trip?
No. Not to my knowledge, not that I remember.
Do you know how long they were gone?
A couple of days, because I just had my daughter.
All right. And so that would be a couple days shortly after you had your daughter, which was June 27th of 14. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yes.
All right. And they actually took 2 trips to Tallahassee, as we've learned. Were you aware that there were 2 trips?
No.
You only knew about the one trip?
Correct.
Did you ever see him in possession of a green Prius?
Yes.
Okay, and was that around the time of that trip?
I don't remember.
Okay. After your child was born, so similar to the time frame I'm talking about, I'm trying to narrow it down to the time that he took that trip. After that occurred, was there a time when someone brought a package to Luis Rivera at your home?
Yes.
Who brought the package?
Tuto came knocking on the door. He brought the package.
All right, and was there anybody else present when Tuto brought the package?
Yes. Katie.
Who else? Katie?
Yes.
Is
Yes,
that Catherine Magbanua?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
I
that
do.
Came to bring the package? Who is that? Can you just point and describe what she's
sure.
wearing?
She's over there with a white shirt, glasses, and a black vest.
Okay, and we've got two of those.
Okay.
The one in between two
The
lawyers?
one in between the two lawyers.
All right, thank
Judge, I have
you.
no objection. Let the record reflect that she has identified this like that one.
Yes.
All right, and okay, so this is, you can say this was in the summer of 2014 within, can we say, a month of your youngest child's birth?
Correct.
Okay. When this package was delivered, did both Tuto, Sigfredo Garcia, and Catherine Magbanua, the defendant, did both of them come into your residence?
No.
Okay, tell us about that.
So Tuto knocked on the door. I opened it. He came in. He said he had a package for Tato. He went to the room to drop it. I said, "Who you with?" He said, "Katie." I went outside. We had like a little patio hallway, and I screamed over, and I'm like, "You're not gonna come and see your niece? Like, why are you in the car?" And then she got up, and then she came in.
So she did come in and see the baby?
Correct.
All right, and at some point, did you call Luis Rivera to tell him they were there?
Yes.
All right, and do you remember what phone number you called him from?
No, I have so many numbers like that.
Have you had quite a few phone numbers?
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you about a specific phone number, 305-896-3720.
Nobody called.
Was that one of the phone numbers that you have used before?
Yes.
All right, and are you refreshing your recollection with something?
Yes, my notes, yes.
All right, so you made some notes about some prior phone numbers you had?
Correct.
All right, ma'am, so at this point, I don't want you to look at any of those notes, okay? Just see if you can recall from your memory, and if not, then just let counsel know, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Ma'am, law enforcement had that phone number associated with an Anthony Ortiz. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Is Mr. Ortiz, is he dead as we sit here today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know when he died?
A couple years ago, that's all I know.
All right, and do you know why your phone number was also associated with Anthony Ortiz in a law enforcement database?
Have no idea.
Okay, so you didn't share a phone with Anthony Ortiz?
No.
Okay. Who was Anthony Ortiz to Luis Rivera?
A friend?
Okay. Would you describe their relationship as Ortiz being kind of like a do-boy to Luis Rivera?
Yes.
All right, but that phone number ending in 3720 was your phone number at the time of these events that we're just talking about?
Correct.
All right, and that phone number is in Catherine Magbanua's phone as Jessica Flocka. Do you go by?
If she can ask the question, overruled.
Do you go by Jessica Flocka?
Yes.
What is Flocka?
It means slim.
Okay, is that a nickname?
When I was younger, yes.
All right, did Mr. Rivera arrive to get this package?
Yes.
All right, and did you look inside the package?
No.
Can you
Didn't have
describe the package for the jury?
It was a bag, like a plastic bag. I don't know what it was inside. It kind of looked like a brick, like drugs, you know, when they wrap up like cocaine and stuff like that. And that's what it, yeah.
Okay, but it was wrapped up in something outside so you couldn't see
Yeah, and
what
the
was
inside
in
it was wrapped. It was in a plastic bag, but the inside was wrapped with like a paper, like a something brown, maybe like a paper bag.
All right, and during the time that Catherine Magbanua was coming up to see the baby, did she ever acknowledge the package or say anything about the package?
Yes.
What did she say about the package?
Basically did, you know, to my knowledge, if I remember correctly, Did you give him the package? But Tato wasn't there.
Okay, so he hadn't arrived yet when she
Correct.
made the statement. Okay. And so who is she asking, did you give him the package?
Tuto.
All right. And did she seem like, what was her demeanor like? How was she acting?
She was fidgety,
Okay.
like in a rush.
Okay, what do you mean by in a rush? Did she say anything to indicate she was in a rush?
No.
Okay. But she just was acting like, what, like she's ready to get out of there?
Yeah.
All right, and just to clarify, she specifically asked Garcia something to the effect of, did you give him
Correct.
the package? All right, at this time, I know you said they've been on and off all the time, but at this time that the package was delivered, was it weird that Catherine Magbanua and Sigfredo Garcia were together?
Not to my recollection.
Okay, so they were together at that time, to your knowledge?
Correct.
Okay. And what about the whole, they got back together at the Pacquiao fight? Was that something that occurred later?
Yes.
Okay, so your recollection is that they were together at the time of the package delivery, and then what, off again before the fight?
Yes, they were very on and off.
Okay, and what about the dentist? Was he in or out at the time of the package drop?
I don't remember. I think at that moment, with the address that I lived in, I didn't know about him until the following address after that.
Okay, so you're not sure you even knew about the dentist
Correct.
at this point? All right, and what about Shrimp? Was she in the picture at this point, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, I don't remember.
Okay, so could there have been some overlap between Shrimp and Katie? Also some overlap between Garcia and the dentist?
There could be, yes.
So it was all sort of, I mean, you don't have the dates of when they were together and not
Correct.
together. Okay. Are you able to tell the jury that there was a reconciliation that occurred between Magbanua and Garcia at the Pacquiao fight on May 2nd, 2015?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if they stayed together from that time up until the arrest in this case?
I believe so.
Was this the only time that anyone brought a package to your home like this, or was that something that occurred all the time?
No, it was the first time.
And when you are thinking about the relationship between Catherine Magbanua and Sigfredo Garcia, does it surprise you that he would keep things from her? Would he keep things from her like crimes he would be involved in?
I wouldn't know. I didn't, from the outside, my relationship with them, they were very on and off. So what they did, like behind, how he acted with her behind closed doors, I don't really know if he would keep anything or not.
Okay. Do you remember giving a deposition back on February 15th, 2019?
Yes.
And I'm referencing page 148, lines 19 through 23. Did you previously say Katie knew everything that...
Improper impeachment.
Overruled.
Did you previously say Katie knew everything that Tudo did when it came to bad stuff? Everything.
I do remember.
Okay. And is that a true statement?
When it comes to that, yes.
All right. No further questions.
Cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Rodriguez.
Good morning.
It's been a while. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing well.
Tara Kawas.
So I want to give the jury a more complete picture of the evidence that you have in this case, okay? I want to start by talking about the relationship you had with Catherine back in 2013. You became pretty close, like you said, with Katie when you became pregnant, right?
Yes.
So that was in 2013.
Yes.
Even though you had been close with Luis and Sigfredo for 12 years, Catherine really didn't come into the picture for you until 2013, right?
Correct, as a friend.
As a friend. Now, around that time, you'd say you guys kind of bonded over the fact of you're both being mothers, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you'd have play dates with the kids sometimes?
Yes.
And you have one child for Luis?
Yes.
Okay. And he has other children, though, with other women, correct?
With one more woman, yes. Correct.
Okay. Is that Annie Diaz?
Yes.
Okay. And how many children does he have with her?
2.
How old are they?
Objection. Relevance?
Overruled, if you know.
In their 20s?
Okay, they're older, right?
Correct.
Okay. And wasn't Mr. Rivera in a relationship with that woman when he was a teenager?
Yes.
Objection. Relevance?
Overruled.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you and Annie aren't friends, are you?
We're not friends, no.
Okay. Do you guys get along?
Now we do, yes.
Okay. But back then you didn't?
Somewhat, you could say.
Okay, where, do you know where Annie lived at the time?
Yes.
Was that 1805 Normandy Drive?
Yes.
Okay, so that address that is on Luis Rivera's driver's license is her address.
Correct.
All right. Now, you would agree with me that Sigfredo and Katie were constantly breaking up and getting back together?
Yes.
And at the time that you were pregnant, you've stated that she and Sigfredo were in a serious separation, correct?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
If you have it, I would like to see it.
One second. All right, I'm referring to her deposition, page 16. Wait, hold on one second. Oh, sorry, page 14.
Okay.
Beginning at line 13.
Okay.
Has your memory been refreshed?
Yes, it has.
So at the time you were pregnant, she and Sigfredo were in a serious separation, correct?
Correct.
Now, your daughter was born, like you said, on June 27th?
27th, yes.
Now, you weren't immediat't released from the
Wow.
hospital, isn't that true?
No.
How long did you stay in the hospital? Because you had complications with your birth.
About a week.
So you weren't released from the hospital with the baby until way into July. Not way into, but a week from June 27th.
Unreal.
Yes, before July 4th.
Okay.
Just had a baby.
Now, one of the issues that you know that Katie had with Sigfredo, because you had described their relationship as toxic, right?
Yes.
Was his constant drinking.
Correct.
Okay. You're fully aware of how much alcohol Sigfredo Garcia would drink, right?
Yes.
And Katie did not approve of how much he would drink.
No.
She always drank in excess, right?
She or he?
He.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. And it's not just alcohol that he would consume. He also did a lot of cocaine, right?
Correct.
All right. And there were times when Sigfredo would actually go binge drinking for days, and no one would know where he was,
Correct.
including the mother of his kids.
Correct.
Now, Katie, as far as you knew, did not approve of the drug use either.
No.
The drinking and the drugs not allowed around her.
Correct.
And this is one of the reasons why she would constantly kick him out of the house, right?
To my knowledge.
Okay, because the alcohol and the cocaine, it also contributed to the fact that he wasn't around to help her with the kids, right?
Correct.
You knew of times when she would be calling and he would just not pick up the phone,
Yes, correct.
okay? And also, he couldn't hold down a job.
I don't know that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't know him to have a steady job like how Luis had a steady job.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this second time, this serious separation that she had stated that she wanted nothing to do with him anymore, right?
I believe so. Yes.
So he's out of the house. And when he and Katie were separated, that's when he started dating the stripper, Shrimp.
Correct.
Now, she worked as a stripper and a pole dancer, right?
I don't know.
Okay. It's also, did you know she was also a prostitute?
From what I was told.
Okay. So this
Allegedly,
is
I
another
guess.
thing that
Yeah.
Catherine, if he was staying with a prostitute, didn't want her kids around, right?
No.
No, she wouldn't want that.
No, like she's had her kids around, both of them.
No, understood. But if she's not around drugs, because Shrimp use drugs too, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you would agree with me that that would be another thing that she would be upset at if that was around her children.
Yes.
And she also talked to you about her relationship with her boss, Charlie, right?
Yes.
So you knew his name.
No, I didn't know his name until after.
Okay. And she talked to you about him, though, that she was dating this guy. It wasn't
Correct.
a secret. And around the time of your baby shower for your daughter, that was around February, March of 2014. Right?
I don't remember.
Okay. Would looking at your deposition refresh your recollection?
Sure.
I'm referring court and counsel to page 27 of her deposition. You want to make that approach?
May.
Beginning at line 5.
Here?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Have you never been refreshed?
Yes.
Okay, so it was around February, March. The baby shower.
It doesn't say that on there. It just says during my baby shower. I just
Okay.
don't remember what month it was.
Okay, so
Probably 8 years
around,
ago.
but we can agree that it's close to,
Correct.
you were showing at that time, right?
Yes.
All right. And she was over Tuto at that time, Sigfredo.
Yes.
And she actually said to you that she was seeing someone from work. Those are the words that she used.
No.
She didn't say that to you?
No.
Okay. Do you remember giving a deposition in this case?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I was present. Mr.
Yeah.
DeCoste was present. Ms. Kappelman was pregnant. Was present. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Did you guys hear that?
I'm not jinxing you.
I gotta rewind that, guys. Listen.
Giving a deposition in this case?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I was present. Mr.
Yeah.
DeCoste was present. Ms. Kappelman was pregnant. Was present. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's so funny.
I'm not jinxing you. A court reporter was present, and she was taking down everything that you said at the time, right?
Poor Georgia.
You swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, just
Correct.
like you did today?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to start at, I want to give it context, but I don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to start at line 13. She was referring to Shrimp. Yes, he is never going to leave Shrimp alone. I'm over it. I'm kind of seeing someone. I said, that's nice. Who is it? She goes, someone I know from work. That was the first time I heard that someone I know from work.
Yes, but the way you're saying it to me, it was as if it was during the baby shower, and it wasn't.
Oh, no, I'm just talking around that general time. Not
It
exactly
wasn't during
at
that general time. It
So-
was further on. It was later on, after I had already my youngest daughter.
So you're saying you only knew that she was dating Charlie after you had the baby?
Yes,
So you didn't know
for
she
my
was
second address. Correct.
Okay, so she wasn't dating Charlie to your knowledge
To my knowledge, I did not know. No.
at the time of what you're testifying to today occurred in July.
In July, I did. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You're still on the baby shower. The baby shower happened way before I had my daughter.
Okay,
So after the baby shower, I had my daughter the new address. That's when she told me that she was dating someone from work.
right, but you were at the old address when you say that she and Tuto came and dropped a package to your house.
Correct.
So she didn't tell you she was dating him until after that?
Yes,
Around the time that she actually broke up with him?
correct.
Okay. Now, even though you knew, now, at some point too, didn't Sigfredo tell you that she left me for her boss?
Yes,
Okay? That she was with him and that she worked for him?
correct.
Okay. Sigfredo also knew Charles's name, right?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Do you remember giving a statement, do you remember giving a statement to the police on October 2nd of 2016?
I remember them going to my job.
Not that one. The one after Lewis cooperated.
Refresh my memory, it's been so long.
Remember Detective Isom and and Agent Sanford came to your apartment the day after Catherine McBannel was arrested?
It was the house, not the apartment.
And,
Correct,
and his sister was there with you. Remember that?
Don't remember.
Okay. Then they were in your house and they recorded your entire
They
statement.
went in, correct, yes.
Right.
It was my house, it wasn't an apartment.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
And pages 86 and 8. You knew you were being recorded, right?
Yes,
Okay. You knew that the officers were there because they were investigating this
Yes.
case. You'd actually already told them that you would help Lewis at that point, right?
help Lewis and how?
Providing information to Sherry Bennett the day before Katie was arrested. We're going to get to that.
I don't know who Sherry Bennett is.
The officer that called you on the phone.
Okay,
Okay. But that happened before, but we're going to get to that, all right? But as it relates to this, you actually told the officers on page 86 to 87. And Investigator Isom said, did he ever say that it was the Charlie guy, Jessica Rodriguez? Yeah. He'll be like, pardon my language, Judge, he'll be like, fuck that Charlie ass N-word. Like, he knew his name.
can you speak that?
Yeah?
Okay, that was after I had found out that she was dating him. But the whole time prior, we always knew him as the dentist. At least to my knowledge, I knew him as the dentist.
Correct, but the statement that you gave to the detective was he knew his name.
Yes, after.
But I'm just asking if what you told the detective, not he knew his name after. They asked, did he know of Charlie? And you said, yes, he knew his name.
Yes,
Okay. Now, the way Katie, whenever she talked to you about Charles, she didn't talk to him like it was a serious relationship, right?
to my knowledge, we only spoke maybe once or twice about it.
But it wasn't anything serious, just casual.
It was quick. Tuto was outside.
Okay. So while Sigfredo is outside at your house, she talked to you inside about Charlie?
Yes.
When did that happen?
It was a play date, and he showed up.
What?
I think, I'm not sure if it was a play date. Let me correct that, because I don't want to say something that I don't remember. It was either a play date or they were super separated, and sometimes she would drop off the kids there and he would pick them up.
Oh, so your house was somewhat like a drop-off point, kind of,
Sometimes.
even though they weren't together.
Correct.
This is at the old apartment?
No, at the house.
At the house. Okay, so there would be times that even though they weren't speaking, that they'd arrange to have a neutral place for Sigfredo to come and pick up the kids?
No, it's just wherever Tuto was at the moment, and he was always in my house.
Okay, so, but you're saying that they were separated and then they would be at your house at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you know Katie was working in the club scene in Miami, right?
Yes.
Okay. She had a job promoting liquors. You know about that?
Yes.
She was, and this was in 2014?
Don't remember the year.
Okay. Would showing your deposition refresh
Yeah,
your recollection?
great.
Page 36. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So she was doing these jobs in 2014, right?
Correct.
You actually saw her doing the jobs once at the liquor club, doing the liquor stuff, right?
No.
Did you ever see her working at the club?
No.
You never actually saw her, you never went out and saw her working at the club?
Not to my recollection, no.
Were you guys friends on Facebook?
Yes.
Did you see pictures of her posting when she would post that she was working?
I believe so, yes.
Now, being a bottle girl in Miami, and I hate saying that, but you doing that kind of job in Miami, you know, you've lived there most of your life?
Yes.
Okay. And that is a job that you can make some cash in, right?
I wouldn't know. I've never worked one.
You've only done nails since you've been a teenager.
Correct.
All right. Now, let's talk about Luis Rivera. You were in a relationship with Luis Rivera for 9 years, correct?
Correct.
And he is the father of your youngest daughter.
Yes.
And you are still in a relationship in June to July of 2014 when they're saying that all of this stuff took place, right?
Yes.
Now I want to talk about his family. He's very close with all of his family members.
Yes.
3 brothers, 2 sisters.
Correct.
And he's very close with his mother, right?
Yes.
Takes good care of her.
Yes.
Gives her a lot of money.
I wouldn't know.
Okay. He doesn't give you money, right?
No. he
Or
doesn't.
never did?
At that moment, no.
No. Okay. And he's very close to his sister Maria, right?
He's close to all his siblings.
Okay. You wouldn't say that Maria is the one he is closest to? Or you haven't said that to me before?
I believe I have told you that.
Okay. You described her as Luis's confidant.
Not confidant, if that's how I described her. I don't remember during that period of time when I did the deposition with you. Confidant in the sense of holding his secrets and cheating, nothing else. Because it was a time where I had found out that he was cheating and she knew. That's what I mean by confidant.
Oh, okay. So that she would keep all the bad things that she knew would upset you from you.
No, she was just his sister, just like I am with mine. If she's cheating, I'm not gonna tell the world, hey, she's cheating.
Oh, okay. So
No.
if, for example, if he was doing anything wrong that you wouldn't have approved of, she's not going to tell on her brother, right?
Luis does everything wrong in front of whoever, so he doesn't keep secrets. Just
But you
cheating.
didn't know about the murder he committed, though, right?
No, correct,
Okay, so he was good at keeping that from you.
correct.
And you were very close to him, right?
Yes,
You had no idea that he went up on a trip in June, right?
correct,
And you had no idea that he went and committed a murder in July
correct,
of a father of 2 boys.
correct.
Okay. Now, back in 2014, Luis worked full-time construction, right?
Yes,
But that wasn't his only source of income,
no,
okay? He sold cocaine,
yes.
right? Now, I know Ms. Kappelman tried to make it seem like he's some drug lord from Colombia that is making millions of dollars, but that wasn't the nature of his operation, right?
No,
He's a low-level drug dealer,
yes.
okay? I mean, did he sell drugs in front of you?
Multiple occasions, yes.
Okay. Did he sell bricks of cocaine, or did he?
No.
No. Did he breaking it down to street level sales?
Yeah,
Okay. And he not only did that, but he also robs drug dealers, right?
yes,
And apart from that, because this is something that Ms. Kappelman left out, he was a Latin King gang member.
Yes.
All right? Ever since he was a teenager.
I don't know how long.
But you've known him for 9 years.
As 9 years, he was a Latin King from my knowledge of what I know. I don't know when he started.
Okay, but for the whole time you knew him, he was a member, right?
Correct.
He has a big tattoo across his stomach
Yes.
saying that he's a Latin King, right?
Yes.
And as for his RICO case, that is what he pled guilty to, was racketeering and being a Latin King gang member.
Yes.
Now, the first time you ever heard about the murder of Dan Markel was when they arrested Sigfredo Garcia, right?
Correct.
Now, that was on May 25th of 2016, correct?
Yes.
Now, at that time, Luis is already in federal custody, right?
Yes.
And when Sigfredo was initially arrested for this murder, they didn't release to the media why or what the connection was yet, right?
I don't remember.
Okay. You didn't know yet that Luis was potentially involved. Once, when Sigfredo was arrested, they didn't initially mention Luis's involvement, right?
No.
That didn't happen until June 2nd, right?
I don't remember the dates.
But you do remember that police officers came to your job to talk to you in June, right?
Yes.
All right. On that day, you saw on the news that now Luis was implicated in this murder, right?
It was on the news prior to that when they came.
Okay, so you had already seen it on the news because you told the cops,
Yeah.
I know what you're here for. It's all over the news,
Correct.
right? And if I told you that the date that you met with them was June 2nd, 2016, do you have any reason to believe that that's not the date?
If that's the date that they put, then they would know more than me.
Okay. And once that came out, before they even got there, you started researching everything online, right?
Yes.
You even purchased a subscription to the Tallahassee Democrat.
Probably did.
That was the newspaper that was covering the story at the time, right?
I don't remember because I literally just purchased it a couple weeks ago. So if I purchased it at that time, I don't remember.
You don't remember, but would looking at your October 2nd statement to the detectives refresh your recollection?
Sure.
I'm referring to page 6. All right, I'm going to get back to that in 1 second because I don't think I have the correct page number. Okay, so the first time the detectives ever came to talk to you, like we discussed, was June 2nd of 2016. That's a week after Sigfredo was arrested, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, they didn't tell you that they were actually recording that conversation with you, right?
Not to my knowledge, I don't remember.
Okay. And you don't remember, or?
I don't remember them telling me that they were recording or not
Okay.
recording.
And back then you told them, this is on June 2nd, you didn't know anything about this, right?
Correct.
You never told them about Katie and Sigfredo coming to your house with a package.
They never asked.
I understand, but you just testified on direct that the only time that Katie and Sigfredo ever came to your house to deliver a package was one time, right?
Yes.
You knew at this time that there was some involvement with Sigfredo and Luis, right? And they were asking you about Katie.
I don't remember.
You don't remember if they specifically said that they were down there or that they were asking you about Katie's involvement?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's been so long. But if you have something that states that I said it or said anything, then I would really like to see it.
Oh, you would like to see it? Okay.
Yeah. So I could refresh my memory. It's been 8 years.
She's challenging her.
The June 2nd statement.
All right.
This is on page 4. You're on here, Carolyn?
Yes.
What's the date of the statement, Ms. Claus?
Pardon me? The date?
Yes.
June 2nd. June 6th. No, wait, no, June 2nd. This is the recorded statement to ISOM, and I provided the transcript in.
Okay, I'm with you.
They didn't ask me.
They didn't ask you, but you even offered that you know Sigfredo Garcia, Luis Rivera, and his wife, right?
Yes.
So you knew that they were asking you about what you knew about Katie, Sigfredo, and Luis.
I told them that I knew all three of them, obviously.
All right, but my question to you is, you never mentioned in June anything about that one time that stood out to you where Katie comes to your house with Sigfredo and they drop off a package. You never said that.
No, because it never stood out to me until my mind got recollected of the events.
And we'll get to that in a second. You did tell them that Sigfredo was the one who paid for Katie's implants, right?
To my knowledge, that's what I knew. That's what she told me.
Okay, and you also told them that Luis paid for the bike by selling his car and taking out money from his 401k.
Sigfredo
That's
didn't
what
buy
he
those
told me, yes.
implants.
Okay, he lied to you.
No way.
Apparently so.
Okay. He told you that now these detectives told you what they were investigating, and you said, I've read all about it online.
Correct.
Okay? And you said, I don't know anything.
Correct.
You do remember seeing a probable cause affidavit later on released for Katie, right? In the media.
Yes.
A 24-page document detailing how she was supposedly involved in this, right?
Correct.
Okay? It was over 20 pages long, right?
Yes.
And these warrants or unsigned warrants were, even though they were released to the media, okay, this was way before, months before Katie was arrested on October 1st, right?
It's been so long, I guess, yes.
Yeah, but you never contacted those detectives, even though you read all of that, to say, hey, listen, I remember this weird thing that happened with Katie.
Why would I contact them?
To give them information about what you know about this case.
I didn't know anything about the case. So how did I know at that moment that was that? So rephrase yourself, because I'm not understanding the question.
Rephrase yourself,
I think
girl.
the timeline is going to help with the jury of how it is that your memory was jogged about that meeting. Okay?
Yes.
Now, you previously stated that you broke off your relationship with Luis when he was arrested in May of 2015, right? For the RICO case.
After, yes.
After. And you still referred to him as your husband, though?
No.
You never did?
At that time I did, but after that, no.
Okay. But at the time, even though you're not married, you refer to him as your husband, right?
Correct.
And you actually referred to him as your husband all the way up until the day that he cut the deal with the state.
If you have something that says that I've been referring to him as that,
Like his emails? from federal?
sure, if you have it, but
And you actually went and visited Luis in the federal detention facility in Coleman, Florida, after all the media came out and before you he cooperated, right?
correct.
Okay, so you guys went and you went and met with him, and at this time you already know everything's been released in the media, right?
Correct.
All right. Now let's talk about the September interview that you gave to the police, okay? This would be September 30th, all right? That is the day that Luis Rivera is cooperating or beginning to cooperate. Well, not really beginning, but is giving a statement to the state attorney's office about his involvement in this case, all right? September 30th, the day before Katie is arrested. Now, when you get this phone call, you already knew that Luis was cooperating because you were expecting this phone call, right?
I don't remember.
So if we were to play the call with Sherry Bennett and you said, I was expecting your call, would you accept my representation? Or?
If you have it recorded, then yes, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could play it, but we'll get back to that. Now, before you give this a statement to Officer Sherry Bennett, who is the one that's doing the interview on the phone, you spoke to his lawyer already, right? That's Chuck Collins?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that conversation between you and Chuck Collins, not recorded, right?
I don't know.
All right. And after that, and the conversation after you've spoken to his lawyer, after you've spoken to Luis, is they're going to call you and record this conversation and take an interview with you on September 30th, the same day that Luis is cooperating, right?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And in that, now this is the first time, the day before Katie's arrested, that you've ever mentioned to law enforcement that you remember this meeting or this time when Katie came to your house with Tuto and that they dropped off the package.
Correct.
That's the first time ever.
Yes.
Okay. And right before the call takes place, you even had a conversation with Monica Jordan, right? That's Chuck Collins' investigator.
I believe so.
And she called you and said, specifically asked you if you remember anything about a drug transaction.
I don't remember. So if you have it written so I could recall, then that would be great.
I'll show you your deposition, page 122. You want an air quote?
Yes.
Okay.
So before the call, his legal team calls you and says to you, He's looking at the death penalty and other people are involved, right?
Yes.
That they asked you with a leading question almost, did they ever do a money transaction? And you told them yes, right?
Correct.
And then they asked you between Tuto and Katie, and you said yes.
Correct.
It's not a situation where they came to you and say, hey, do you remember anything?
No.
They also wanted you to talk to Luis about getting him to cooperate, right?
Yes.
All right? They actually allowed you to talk to Luis on September 30th on one of the officers' cell phones.
I believe so, yes.
To have a conversation with you so you could talk him into cooperating, right?
I believe so, yes.
And at this time, you believed that from everything that was in the media, that Katie and Sigfredo had something to do with this, right?
I mean, I don't think a brain scientist would know.
But this is, of course, only what you've read online. I mean,
Online,
they
correct.
painted Luis a certain way, and you lived with him day to day, and you had no idea about that side of Luis, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what you told them on that September 30th meeting. Because you actually told them that Katie and Sigfredo left the house before Luis got home.
If that's what I told them.
That's what you told them. Okay? You also said that when Katie came into the house, that Katie had said, Sigfredo just picked me up. Right?
I don't remember, so if it's there, then I said it.
And most importantly, you told them that this incident happened in August or September of 2014.
Yes, because I had my dates wrong then. Yes, correct.
You had the dates wrong then, but they're correct now?
Well, I had just moved. So when that happened, it was in the old apartment. And a couple weeks after that, I moved to the new apartment because we were in the process of getting evicted.
But you understand, though, that your memory doesn't get better with time, right?
It doesn't get better with time and the dates. But once I said something, I said it, like, the truth is the truth.
Exactly.
You're going to always remember the truth.
You remember the
lies,
truth. You can't remember a lie.
Correct.
Okay. And you actually said, at least 2 months after my daughter was born is when this incident happened. That's what you told the detectives.
Correct.
Okay. Now, after this, the very next day after you talk to the police and after Luis cooperates with the police, Katie is put in handcuffs, right?
I believe so, yes.
All right. All over the news everywhere. Good Morning America, NBC, another arrest made in the Dan Markel case, right?
Yes.
And now, after it's all out there, the very next day, they come to take that October 2nd interview from you. This is when they come to the house and they sit down and they record this conversation. Isn't it true that at this meeting, Maria said, I want to talk to the detectives too? She's there on the recording.
You just refreshed my memory because I didn't even remember her being there, but yeah.
And you told them about a time that you remembered when Luis left for a few days with Tuto, right?
Correct.
And that when Luis came back, he was upset, right?
Yes.
Crying in his sleep.
Yes.
Screaming in his sleep.
Correct.
Like he probably did something that traumatized him, right?
He always fidgeted in his sleep.
Okay. Now, this time when you talk about this incident where Katie comes and drops off, this is now 48 hours after you've already spoken to Sherry Bennett, right? You told them that Luis was at work when Sigfredo came over.
To my knowledge at that moment, yes.
Okay. And you described the package as Publix bags tied up, right?
Correct.
A brick. And then you told them that you told the detectives again that Katie did not know what was in the bag.
I don't remember. So if I said it,
I mean, I can show it to you. You want me to show it to you?
Sure, if it's written down, then yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do the October 2nd statement, page 34, lines 3 to 8. Your Honor, I wrote.
May.
Ms. Kloss, can you do mine, please?
Page 34, lines 1 through 8.
I'm going to object to improper impeachment, Your Honor. I don't think it's inconsistent.
I'm not impeaching, I'm refreshing.
Oh.
Correct.
So you told the detectives that Katie said, she goes, oh, I don't know. You know they're stupid. I don't know what, and she's holding the baby. That's what you
Yes,
said?
when I asked her, what are they doing? Correct.
Okay. You described it as being 12 by 8, correct? The size of the,
Yeah.
a type, almost like, that's a perfect word, a brick, right?
Yes.
Did it feel heavy like a brick?
I never touched it.
You never touched it?
Not that I recall.
He didn't hand it to you?
No, he went to the room, if I recall.
Who did? Sigfredo?
Sigfredo, yes.
Okay. He did always had the package in his hand?
I believe so.
Okay, and went and
To
put
my
it
knowledge.
in your bedroom?
In my bedroom, yes.
Okay. And on that date, too, on October 2nd, you actually told Detective Isom and Agent Sanford that on the occasion in August or September, that Katie and Sigfredo left before Luis got there.
I said they flew.
Do you want to
I
look at
didn't
what you
say
said?
in specific that I remember. I could be wrong, but my recollection was that they flew, like in and out.
You remember giving a statement on October 2nd to the police officers in this case, right?
Yes.
And you knew that you had to tell them the truth, because if you didn't, you'd be committing a crime,
Correct.
all right? And Court and Counsel, October 2nd, page 34, lines 11 to 13. He calls Luis and tells him, yo, I just came to your house and I dropped it off with Jessica. Like literally within 15 minutes, they left.
Correct. That's what I said, that they flew.
Okay. But in other words, they were not there when Luis got to the house. That's what you told them.
If you keep on reading, as I remember that I told the detective, when he called them, Tato said, do not leave, don't leave her with it. So he never got a chance to literally hand it to me for me to even search it, for me to even look, because Tato came flying from wherever he was at, and they spoke, she watched the baby, and then they left.
Yes, but you're saying that now. I'm saying back then, in 2016, you told them twice that Katie and Tuto were not at the house when Luis got there.
I'm pretty sure I said what I said now as well. I said the whole story. So if you're going to read part of it, then read
Well,
the
I'll
rest
pick
of it
one of
so
the
I could
statements.
get the knowledge more, but I'm pretty sure that that's what I said.
Well, let's pick one.
That he didn't want me.
Okay, so I'm referring to your October 2nd statement, okay? 2016, right? Did you review this before you testified in court today?
No.
Okay. So, starting on page 34, he calls Luis and he tells him, yo, I just came to your house and I dropped it off with Jessica. Like literally, within 15 minutes, they left. And 15 minutes, like this guy flew.
That's what I just read with you.
Correct. So
Okay.
am I missing something when you say within 15 minutes, they left? And 15 minutes, like this guy flew?
Okay, and what's after that?
I don't know if he didn't want me to see what was in the bag. And he knows that if that bag was left with me, I'm very nosy. So I like to tend to see what comes inside my house. I used to throw away a lot of his drugs when I didn't want them in my house. And I would get mad. You're not going to put me in a predicament. So 15 minutes, he came, grabbed the bag, and I said, well, what the F is in your bag? He goes, none of your business, none of your business. You're always asking questions. And I was like, whatever. We argued. You never, he left.
Correct.
Okay. You didn't say he left with Katie and Tuto. That's not what you said, right?
No, correct.
And you said previously, as I read in plain English, like literally within 15 minutes, they left.
They flew. Correct.
No, that's not what you said. They left and 15 minutes. It's the same sentence.
Yeah.
Like this guy flew. In other words, Rivera flew to the house.
Yes.
But you clearly said to the detectives back then that Katie and Sigfredo were not there. They left.
That's what I wrote, but I don't remember it being like that. Like I said,
You'd agree with
that
me.
knowledge. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay,
Correct.
and a recording is something that's much better, obviously, than someone's memory, right?
Correct.
Because if it's on the recording, we can listen to ourselves what you say and don't have to rely on your memory.
Correct.
Because this is now, that's 2016, this is almost 6 years since you gave that statement, right?
Yes.
And this is the first time that you're testifying in front of anybody about this case,
Correct.
okay? You actually didn't want to come here today, isn't that true?
Correct.
Okay, you said you want nothing more to do with this case, right?
Correct.
And the state had to force you to come in here.
No, they didn't force me.
Okay, did they explain to you that if you didn't come in and testify that you could be subject to contempt of court?
Correct.
Okay. And what happens if you're found in contempt of court, to your knowledge?
I get put in jail. I don't know, until the trial finishes.
Yeah. Okay. Now Luis didn't give you a bunch of cash, right?
No,
Never received any money from him,
not
right?
to my knowledge.
No. And it wouldn't be smart, for example, like I know Miss Kappelman said that, oh, you know, he had a bank account and all his legit money went into that bank account from his job, right?
Correct.
Okay, he wouldn't put all of his drug money into the bank, right?
I don't know what he did with his money.
It'd be stupid, though, to put your
Correct,
money in
yes.
the bank because there's a paper trail, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the murder happens in 2014. You and Katie remain friends up until Luis is arrested. And that's the time when she and Sigfredo reconciled in May of 2015, right?
Yes.
And during that time, Katie never said anything to you that would indicate that she was involved or knew anything about a homicide in Tallahassee, right?
No.
Just like how she was, you know, not in a relationship, but she's the mother of Sigfredo's kids. You are the mother of Luis's kids, right?
Yes.
He kept things from you, right?
Correct.
Okay. He probably kept things from her, right?
Correct.
Okay. And it's been said before, oh, Katie says something and Sigfredo jumps, right?
Yes.
Okay. But if she said stop doing cocaine, that really didn't work, did it?
I mean, the more he would do drugs, it was always when they were broken up.
Right. But the reason they broke up was because of his infidelity, drug use, and alcohol use, right?
No.
Why'd they break up?
I don't know why they broke up. It was, if she didn't get her way in one thing one day, it's over. She'll kick him out.
So like,
or if he was on drugs, then she felt like arguing. It's over. She'll kick him out. So it was really, I can't say what they broke up for.
No, but you just brought up a point. One of the issues was she didn't want him to do drugs, right?
Correct.
But if she said stop doing drugs, he didn't listen to her.
He would
continued
listen
doing
at
drugs.
times.
He did at times, but he'd always fall back into it, right?
Yes, whenever she would kick him out the house.
And they didn't get back together until Sigfredo straightened up his act. That's how they got back together.
I don't know.
You don't know. All right. Now, even though you were together with Luis all for the entire year up until he gets arrested, you had no idea that he committed a murder, right?
Correct.
Okay? He kept that completely from you.
Yes.
Because he knows that if you know anything, you could be in trouble.
Yeah, correct.
And you told Luis that you were glad that he never involved you, right?
Yes.
And he actually told you, I would never do that. You're the mother of my kids. I would never put you in that situation.
Correct.
And you're pretty smart, Jessica, right?
Yeah, I'm smart.
Yeah. And you have what we call street smarts, right?
Correct.
She's
Okay?
smart.
You've got your wits about you, right?
Yes.
So, like you said before, you're nosy.
Whatever comes in my house, yeah.
And it's because you know you can't trust Luis 100%, so you have to kind of be on your P's and Q's. You said you had to flush drugs once that he brought into your house, right?
Yeah.
But even though you knew about all of that, Latin King gang member, all of these things, you had no idea that he was involved in this murder.
Correct.
Okay? You even had no idea that he was cheating on you that entire time until you heard the wiretaps in his federal case, right?
I knew he was cheating, I just didn't know with whom. And
But you
the
found out.
wiretap showed who, yes.
Okay, and you had to listen to that.
Correct.
Okay? So it's fair to say that Luis, he's always lying, right?
When it comes, yeah, in that sense. Not lying, just the cheating. I mean,
But he'd lied to you so he doesn't get in trouble.
he wouldn't say yes or no, so I could never tell him if it was a lie or not. He just wouldn't bring it up.
Now, while he was in jail, in federal's different than state, right?
I guess I've never been to federal prison.
Come
so I
on, you
wouldn't
should
the
know
difference.
that.
No, and I only mean in terms of
Okay.
ability to communicate, because they actually have email, right?
Correct.
We don't have email in state or local facilities. But
Yes,
in
they do.
federal, you can actually email with the inmates, right?
Yeah, it's state as well, yes.
Okay. Oh, they do that now in state?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Now, your email address back then when you were communicating with Luis in June of 2016, okay? This is around the time that everyone's getting arrested. It was siennaNegron1020@gmail.com, right?
Correct.
Nobody email her.
Yes?
Yes.
And you were using that email to communicate with Luis at the time, right?
Correct.
Now, like we discussed, June 2nd is the date that these detectives came to see you, right?
Yes.
And it already had been out into the media that he was involved in this thing, in this homicide, right?
Correct.
Isn't it true that you told him, I want you to understand me real good, no matter what. I got your back, front, left, right, completely, no matter what.
Listen.
Just know that my actions as of today will be to bring you home. Do you hear me? You are my family. And don't ever think otherwise. Keep your faith in God always. And keep that crown firmly placed on your head.
King.
If I wrote it, I always write, I love you crap whenever I'm drinking and I miss them because of my daughter, but if I wrote it, it's there. Yes.
Okay. Your Honor,
Do I remember it? No.
I do think she's lying a little bit here.
No, you have it on black and white.
No further questions.
Redirect.
All right.
And you do have his back.
Couple more
Right?
questions
I
from
mean,
Georgia.
he's your child's father.
Correct.
Are you together as we sit here today?
No.
Are you planning on resuming your marriage or your relationship upon his release?
Definitely not.
Okay. But he will always be the father of your children.
Correct.
And you do care what happens to him.
Yes, I do.
Are you willing to lie under oath for him?
No.
All right. Did you know that the package delivery that we've been talking about was important before the cops came to you and asked about the package delivery?
No.
Did you know that the package delivery had anything to do with this murder before
Not
the
at all.
cops came and asked you?
No, not at all.
All right. So when you went to Coleman Prison and met with Luis Rivera, did you encourage him to cooperate in this case?
I don't think so.
Did you encourage him to work with the police, to tell what he knew, to try to make a deal, anything like that?
No.
So you didn't get involved in any of that?
No.
All right. Did anybody tell you, did I or anybody tell you what it was you should say here today?
No, not at all.
And in determining what date the package delivery business occurred, you mentioned that you got it wrong first. Was there something you had to go back and check on to try to figure out what date the thing occurred?
No, just my thoughts and myself to remember.
Okay, and you mentioned something about a moving your residences. Was that something that helped you figure out when this occurred?
Yes.
Okay, because you do know which address this happened at, right?
Correct.
And that was that 135th Street address, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then shortly after that, did you move somewhere else?
Yes.
Was that to the house that you talked about?
Correct.
Okay, and that's the house where you figured out that the dentist was involved in all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't Luis Rivera want them to leave the package with you?
Because there was money. Apparently now I found out it was money, so I would have left.
You would have taken the money?
I would have taken the money and left. No questions asked.
All right, but you didn't get a chance to look in the bag?
No.
All right. Was it unusual for Catherine Magbanua? I mean, did you assume that it was drugs in the bag?
Yes.
And would it have been unusual for Catherine Magbanua to be involved with something like that?
Exact. Yes.
Is that why you asked her what's in the bag?
Correct.
And that's because she specifically acknowledged the bag and seemed interested in what was happening with the bag, right?
Yes.
And that was weird.
Objection, leading.
Correct.
All right. These are leading questions. Let's keep that in mind, please.
Was it weird that she seemed interested in what happened with a bag of drugs?
Yes.
Okay. Was it a situation where Catherine Magbanua was asking what's in the bag, or you were asking what's in the bag?
I asked her what was in the bag.
Okay. And she said, I don't know.
Correct.
So that's what she told you.
Yes.
But she didn't ask what was in the bag.
No.
No further questions.
All right. That's all of it. What'd you guys think of that? First of all, these women who get involved with these people, I don't believe her at the end there. I thought she was very honest for the majority of it. But at the end, I thought to myself, you know what? She said that when you heard that last statement, when she's like, I've got your back, front, back, side, whatever she said. And then she said something along the lines of the crown on your head and all that. And then they're like, oh, so, but you're not with him anymore, right? Well, I don't know if I believe that. I think that maybe she is still talking to Luis and just being really careful with what she says. I mean, she's got children with him, right? Or one child I know of, the daughter. So anybody got any comments or questions they want to send my way about today's episode before we go? You guys have been awesome. I like chatting with you guys on the side. But if you have any questions, put them up on the board. Any comments? do not forget to check out Chitter Chatter. That's going to be so much fun. Let me pause that. Hold on. It's going to be so much fun. Me and Jocelyn are super excited for that. Chitter Chatter is up. You can go on over and you know what? I don't think I put it in the description box for tonight's video. I will go back and do that, but it's orange and it says Chitter Chatter, Carolyn and Jocelyn. You'll see the logo. It's white with orange and black. Make sure you go, subscribe to that, because me and her, we've got some really cool stuff planned. And especially I know the ladies are looking forward to that talk show that we're going to be doing. Also, make sure you're liking this video and you subscribe and you share it. And also you can join the Moms for Justice members club. I'm going to be going live with you guys again, I believe on Saturday for an afternoon lunch. Hopefully you guys will join me. I will have the topic up probably tomorrow, actually tomorrow night. So we'll check that out. But let me know what you guys thought of Jessica. A lot of people didn't even know that she came forward and gave this testimony. So it's so good to see all you familiar faces and new ones. She said she will always be there for him because he is the father of her child, but she is not in a relationship with him. In that world, sex and relationships are two different things. Right, but she still could be. She still could be, and is just maybe not divulging the whole truth. Hey, Veronica, why were these women so willing to have babies with these losers, criminals? Katie stayed with Sigfredo and kept having kids even though he was awful. Because I was talking about in the beginning of the video, there's a certain kind of woman that likes the bad boy. And I really do think that they gravitate towards guys like this because they like the toxic rush. And they're usually highly sexualized relationships. And there's usually a lot of excitement with that relationship. But then there's also a lot of abuse. And, it's bad. I have a lot of friends that fell for guys like this. And once you start, it's really hard to get out of it and not continue this cycle of, trying to find guys like this. It'd be terrible. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, it was great to be on with you guys tonight. Apparently Joel had a live while I was on, and he's going to crush me, of course. He's a huge channel. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. And I will be on soon. And don't forget, again, subscribe, like, and share. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys hopefully on Saturday. Okay? Take care.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts and guests. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.